Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, hello, my beautiful royalty. How are you doing? I hope you're able to meditate, embrace the world, smile. Well, into politically, let's at least try some. You know what? Maybe I need to do an episode on some of the newer comedy specials. They won't be brand new, Some of them will be 2024 or whatever. Or maybe I'll do like since 2020 some comedian specials that are funny and some that are on like Netflix and some that are on YouTube because I know like a lot of us we need some time to smile and laugh because right now we are digesting so much anger and so much emotions and so many things that can cause our body harm. But this is the time when we need to be our healthiest. This is when the time where we need healthy food physically and mentally. And so yeah, so I'm going to add that to the many of list, but I'm going to try to do that pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you guys have any recommendations, like write them in the messages, and so I can at least look and watch and see what it is to see if it's, palatable and everything like that. And oh, if they are petty, oh, if they are a political comedian, that's even better. So yeah, because I love petty, as you know, and I love the the comedians that will drag this Republican Party, the MAGA group, the so-called Christians that are filled with hate. Oh, yeah, chef's kiss. Okay. Okay, but yeah, because we're talking about like this is a political episode today. I might be ranting. I don't even like. Yeah, it's like I. There's just so many emotions, and there's just so much to every topic. And yes, would a professional YouTuber stay on point or topic? Probably, but I'm messy. And I'm a writer and I'm a creative. I'm working on 5 different projects at one time right now. And when it comes to politics, there are so many like things rooted within one topic. It's like especially the African American anger and like our history and like people keep saying like suck it up buttercup and get your life right and things are equal or fair and now oh yeah but you took DEI but then you claim that if you got a job because of DEI that means you didn't deserve the job where no it's because a lot of these companies they don't want to hire black people. Like remember what CK said. He said if he saw a black pilot he would get worried but just because of his skin color. So if he was colonized white, it would be okay. Like it you wouldn't care what his education is. And with my education and when I go to job interviews, a lot of these jobs, they'll ask me for my transcripts, but they won't ask the colonized people. They won't ask the Asians or the Middle Easterns, but they'll ask the black woman. They'll ask the black person because they don't believe I got it. Yeah. They want to try to test me, second guess me, right? So, I don't know. It's just so many people out here, the MAGA people who they love the unfairness, they love the power, they love the right for them to be able to conquer over everyone else. And they just the right to be over everyone just because of how they look. But then they have the nerve to try to use Martin Luther King Jr.'s quotes like in a very twisted way for their advantage. Just like they're doing with the Second Amendment right now. Because now some of them are having the nerve to try to blame the Second Amendment when it's a someone who wasn't MAGA or Republican. Yeah, it's like They always want to say, as long as we get to benefit. Yeah, because that Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah, he benefited from it. So even though he didn't have the arsenal legally, even though he carried it over state borders, yeah, we don't care. Yeah, it's like, remember, Second Amendment. Yeah. So many things contradict, but then so many things that they have said and done because, oh yeah, wearing masks. They didn't want to wear masks. They couldn't breathe. They couldn't breathe during COVID. They couldn't, yeah, but now all of a sudden, these ice men, we see them running and tackling and breaking down doors and doing so many athletic things with masks. They can wear the mask now. They're able to handle masks for hours now. Hours at a time. They can breathe all of a sudden now. Yeah. Don't you find that interesting? Because now that we're saying no, we don't want them to wear masks. No, yeah, they're allowed. They can cover their faces. Oh, and then when, even back to the horrific things that have happened, uh-huh, when they had the nerve to say, if you come to a protest with a weapon, then you don't mean any. But yeah, let's look at a lot of the protests, especially when the the hate groups get into a U-Haul van. A them, a lot of them had weapons. But you're not going to include that, are you? I like watching like a lot of the videos when they were in Ohio and different places. They had weapons. And then on top of that, they were riding around the back of a U-Haul illegally. But did they get arrested? No, the cops had their backs. Why? Remember, the origination of cops were slave catchers. They're in it together. I'm not saying all of them, but if you're a cop and that hurt you, I'm probably talking about you. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And you might say, well, no, it wasn't. Well, they were trying to save money. Like, yeah, a lot of people try to save money. It was still illegal. And it's like, if you're gonna, you know, pick at the immigrants trying to come over to this country in order to have like safe lives and just, help and save their children and things like that, then you have to look at, yeah, you know. It's like you're going to be so hard on people who are trying to be in safety. When looking back at our history, you guys escaped England, Europe, in order to find safety. You guys eliminated thousands, millions of Native Americans so that you can conquer and have safety. You then were so lazy, like, because a lot of you guys want to keep saying African Americans are lazy. Oh, are we lazy because we won't be your help anymore, especially for free as slaves? Is that why because I kind of think that's the reason why we got labeled that. Because, like, well, in order for you to be safe, in order for you to be able to live the lives you wanted to live, you went and kidnapped thousands, millions, yeah, so many African people and brought them over and forced them to do the work you were too lazy to do. But you guys want to keep rewriting history. You want to reword it. And now, like, it's so frustrating that now some of these pastors are like, slavery was in the Bible. That means it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad. They're trying to make it bad. And I call it chattel, or, well, no, I call it cattle, but it's really chattel. But I call it cattle because they treated us like we were animals. They treated my ancestors like animals. And they didn't want us to read unless it was the verses that talked about how to be a good slave. They refuse to allow them to have education and to be educated because they know the power of education, which is why now it's like we have a country that has like taught a lot of these African Americans to not care. That even to the point where some of the black teachers that I have worked with have literally gone and told their students, don't learn. You're going to turn white if you do that. With investing, I've had black men tell me, you're so dumb. Only white men invest. Oh, you're not going to spend all your money, or you're not going to spend more money on hair, wigs, weaves, and like, well, different things that would make me quote unquote beautiful or whatever. It's like, I need a dime piece. And if you're not willing to spend the money that you have on that, I don't have time for you. Mm. While a lot of these colonizing colored women are going to the hospital either for bigger tushes or fuller lips and a lot of the features of black women, but we are supposed to automatically think that the white woman is beautiful. But then they have the nerve to say you're pretty or beautiful for a black woman. But you see a lot of these colonized women trying to look closer to us, right? But I don't know, it's just I've been thinking a lot about the treatment that I got from Mr. Lakaki and Mr. No Heart, especially when it came to politics. And I think that's one reason why, like, I wish I pressed them harder because I would have broken up with them a lot sooner. But I didn't know to back then because a lot of them would tell me, it doesn't matter. You're a girl. Like, stop it. Why are we having this conversation? Don't you love me? If you love me, you wouldn't talk about it. And I was still under the facade as long as you walk like that, no one's ever gonna want you, love you, or marry you. So then and my walking was getting worse. I was scared. I was literally in fear of what was going on with me because I would go to doctors and doctors would keep telling me that I was making it up and nothing was wrong with me. So get over it. Just go home and start walking correctly. And none of this would happen in the first place, which is one reason why I want to go and sue them because they're no good, heartless, terrible, disgusting medical practices. They had me walking on a knee so damaged. My surgeon said I'm in the top 5 or top 10 of her, or like, well, top 5 of, like, I think, yeah, with one of them of that specific surgery, like top 5 of that one, but then top 10 of all her surgeries. All her surgeries, I was in the top like 10 of most complicated. I made it to her top 10. That's pathetic. That's crazy. And she kept saying, at your age, you shouldn't be having this. So, but yeah, all of that drama kept me into these toxic, terrible relationships with these like disgusting men, because like talking politics with them. And it's like, and then they knew their white privilege. Because that's the thing. A lot of these white men know of their privilege. But now they want to force it and keep it. And they want it to go back to the 50s. They want that because now they feel like they're losing their power because like black women are the most educated demographic in this country and they can't stand it. A lot of black women are starting their own companies and businesses. We're using our creativity. And it's we know the power of capital and money. It's like we are learning like our financial education on our own. It's like, especially the power of the internet, we are able to teach ourselves in different ways, which is now having a more balanced system, and they can't stand that. They're used to the power. They're used to the know-how of how to like either start the business and stay rich and or become rich or get your like self together and things. But now that we have the internet and it allows us to look up and research, because the internet can be a powerful, amazing tool, but it can be a weapon and awful and terrible as well. Yes, because I'm gonna be posting because I just found a who Jasmine Crockett was doing a speech outside of a detention center, and it was one that I believe Biden or Obama closed down because it was such like it was in such disarray. It was awful. But then the Orange Man opened it back up last April, and I'm gonna have the screenshots on Discord. Once I can get them through, like yeah, I have so many images I need to get up, but like I need to download load like everything. But who yeah, I'm so petty. Like there were people who were laughing because Jasmine Crockett was talking about how awful it is because they didn't have any teachers, they didn't have any schooling or education. She went in there to ask questions and to look around, and they were like, the people were like, oh, well, we're going to make packets. Oh, yeah, well, we have someone who was in education, but you don't have a teacher. You're not teaching these kids. But then you have all of these MAGA people laughing and having such awful, terrible comments. Well, it's the parents' fault. Wow. So it's the parents' fault, but so you're saying these kids don't deserve a fair chance of education. Oh, well, they're probably illegal immigrants. They probably don't speak English, or they all speak different languages. Whew, so yeah, I'm gonna be having those screen like and it's like over 1,700 people were laughing at this post. Over 1,700 people were laughing at that post. A post about children who are not being able to have an education. But then even I found one where it was a black man. uh, yeah. He was just like, well, we don't get good or fair education anywhere in this country anyway, so what's the big deal? Wow. But it's like, while I was a teacher, like, I know, oh, I was doing such a great job. I know I was. Because I had, like, well, some parents hated me because I was doing such a good job. They were coming in like, my child's not gonna try to go to college anyway. So why are you trying to give them so much information? Why are you trying to teach them so much? Why are you trying to block, like, why are you trying to get their one parent even asked me, why am I trying to get their reading level up? I was like, what? Your eighth grade child is third/fourth reading level. They're about to go to high school with a third/fourth grade reading level. Yeah. But I had some parents who, like, I won't say love, but I had their respect, and they were just like, they complimented me because of my creativity. They loved how I was trying to make a connection with my students to the point where they were excited to learn. It's like reading to snails or having the indoor garden, having the alien grocery store, and it's like having the reading arts, like the art exhibit and things like that. It's like there's so many different things that I did in both elementary and middle school. Although the history rap battles, it's like, yeah, there were so many things. But then some of these teachers would turn around and tell the students, see, she's trying to turn you white. You better not learn. You better not do her assignments, or you're going to end up white. Huh. But who taught us this? Who taught us this? You guys should be like, yeah, just we need to encourage education. And now Generation Z and A, some of them keep saying, well, I have AI to do the work for me. I don't need to try. I don't need to. And it's like, what? That is scary. Now we might end up with some of the dumbest generations if we're not careful. Because you can use technology in amazing ways. It can be the best resource. But now some are starting to allow it to be a weapon to the point where it's only going to be AI that does all the work. The person's not going to be knowing what they're doing whatsoever. Just think if it's ever put down, like years from now, decades from now, if it ever goes down and Generation A and Z or Z and A have to depend on themselves, like, what are we going to do? Yeah. But also, back, okay. So the safety into this country, they escaped England, they slaughtered Native Americans and also African Americans, putting them in 2 by 2 boxes, which they are doing now. It's like some people are like, they're not concentration camps. This isn't like, really? Have you read up on it? And some of them, I want to buy a T-shirt. I think this is so cool. I love, like, really, really. But it's crazy. The MAGA keep calling us the villains when they are celebrating kids not getting educated. They're laughing. They think it's great. It's like we should be uplifting people. Like, and some people have the nerve to say Republicans are the same as Democrats. Both parties are the same. No, we're not. Okay. Yes, some of the politicians on both sides get paid by the same people. That they have in common. And that is something I hate and something I think we need to solve and fix. But the parties are not the same. The people on each side are not the same. Does Democrats have some, racism in there? Yes, of course. We're not perfect. There is some racism with, like, leaking in the party. There is some bigotry leaking in the party. We're not perfect. I mean, look at, like, I think the 6 or 7 people who voted for more funding for ICE. Yeah, I want to do that episode, but yeah, it's like I saved the story, so yeah, I didn't forget. And I might be late on it, like late, closer to when it's time for their elections. Yeah, I'm petty. I don't. Yeah, because yeah, you know what? I might do that. I might do 2 episodes because right now I might look up each one and look up how they've been voting on different issues and how they are affecting their state. What have they done for their states and stuff like that, and then also see when they will be running again. And yeah, that would be really interesting. But I will never forget, before the Orange Man ever even made it into office, like, my ex saw that I was worried and he would laugh at me. And this is why, ladies, question the mess out of the guy you're dating. You might end up heartbroken. You might need to break up with him. He may not be for you, but once you want to be in a house where it's safe, and some, like, yeah, you might be safe physically because of the Second Amendment, but mentally safe. Because going to the ballots, voting, he might be voting against you. He might be trying to take away your rights. He might be trying to make sure he has power over you. He might only see you as an object. And we're already, like, women, we're already objectified so much within society. But they want to do it more. Some of these men want to own us. Some of these men want to keep us and force us into marriage. Some of these older men want the young women. They want the power over the young women and force them so that they can't get divorced. They want it so that, like, 'cause even the orange guy now wants to have these special accounts where the more kids you have, like, each kid will have $1,000 and it'll be invested and it's gonna gain. And yes, okay, it sounds good, but I'm waiting for the catch. I'm waiting for the catch. Because yeah, it's like this is going to encourage people to have babies, but like, who's going to pay for the daycare and the diapers and all of the needs and stuff until that child turns 18? You like you might have the baby, but then you got to take care of the baby. You're going to need funds for that baby. So, and also once that child turns 18, is that going to be enough for college, because the college prices keep going up? And the value of what's going to be the value of the dollar? Because the way he's doing these tariffs and the way other countries are looking at us and the way that some of them are now flipping to other means of value of coin, yeah, of money. Yeah, so I'm saying we better be careful, because our stock market and everything going on around us might change, because the way that he's only focused on him making money. And so I'm waiting to see what is the cause and effect of what he's doing right now. What is the catch? What are other things he's trying to do? Because yeah, my ex, he would laugh at me. And he even said, if this ever turns into something like Anne Frank, I will hide you. I will hide you. Don't worry. But he's such an idiot. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna go wrong. He's so stupid. You think he's actually going to have a strong effect within this nation? No one buys what he's saying. Oh, yeah, well, my mom and majority of my family are voting for him, but they're so stupid. Don't worry. This country's not going to be stupid enough to vote for him. Now, what do you think, you no good jerk? Mr. No Heart, what do you think now? You no good jerk. Do you still think that way? Do you remember all of the what like times you laughed at me? Do you? Do you? And I know he'll probably never listen to this episode. Oh, he found the channel, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna make sure he doesn't listen. But it's kind of crazy, because he would laugh and be like, "Why are you so serious about this? Why do you care so much?" It's like, this isn't gonna affect you. Ladies at like, because, and the thing is, I asked him, but and watch it, because some of these men are gonna lie, so you got to do pop quizzes. Do the pop quizzes, especially before you say the L word, before you say that you care and love him, before you start getting attached. Ask so many political questions. You might get him on his nerves. And oh, if he tells you that, that might be a hint too. Because like, if it gets on his nerves so much, maybe he might be just playing games with you. Maybe he's lying to you. Maybe he's just agreeing with your political views until he has you. And then after he has you, then he's going to show who he really is. Because do you know how many of these men out here who at first they're dating a woman and she says she doesn't want kids, and so the guy pretends, yeah, I don't want kids either, but then once you're serious or once you get married, all of a sudden, I want kids. Have you changed your mind? I will change your mind. I will force you to have kids. I will make sure you change into the woman I want you to be. Oh, you want a job? I don't want you to work. Because at first he was like, "Oh yeah, you have these goals, you want to work and dot dot dot." But once you get married, no, quit your job. I don't want you to work. If you work, then that means you love that job more than me. You're giving that job more attention than me. You should love me above. That's what the good book says. Yeah. So okay, well yeah, I'm running, like, so either I'm gonna need a part two, or but yeah, I can. Oh, all of the times this man laughed at me. Now it's not funny, because all of the things I was warning him about, and that's a crazy thing. Like, I've been paying attention to this orange man. I've been paying attention to the history. I've been looking around at what was going on. And it's like, black women, like, no one wants to listen to black women. We were right, but you refused to listen to us. You want to degrade us, mock us, tease us, especially some of these particular comedians. I might be petty and post some of them in this video. Yeah, because I'm just like, oh, you laughing now? This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.